Hello everybody. I told a friend of mine I'd do a video on some 40 Smith & Wesson using the LEE Bulge Buster system to show how this works. And I loaded up these 40 Smith & Wesson hollow points. They're Nosler, 135 grain. Some bullets that I bought online. I've loaded up 50 of these, and what I wanted to show was, again, the Bulge Buster kit from LEE. This is supposed to take care of the bulge that you generally get from a Glock firearm. Supposedly the Glock feed ramp goes so far up into the chamber that you end up with a bulge when fired right here close to the rim, and makes it hard for them to be chambered in any other firearm. So what you do is you have a LEE factory crimp die, which I already have installed, and what you do is you remove the top of your factory crimp die, take it off, plus you also got to remove the sleeve that's inside the factory crimp die. So I use a wooden dowel rod to push the sleeve up and take the sleeve out. So now I've removed the sleeve, and this is your Bulge Buster right here, which screws down into the factory crimp die. Okay, then you have to remove the shell holder and replace it with this. This is a little ram that'll push your case up. Now you can do the brass separately, or you can do the brass after it's been loaded. Doesn't matter. Now the case that the die comes in, Bulge Buster, goes on top, almost like a LEE lube sizing die set, but that goes on top. And what you do is you take your loaded round, set on the ram, and run it up. And you just keep doing that to all your rounds. And they start coming out at the top. You just heard that one fall. Zoom in a little tighter so you can see. And you can feel the tension on this when you do it. And you can do all your cases, whether they've been fired from a Glock or not. But that's what you end up doing. You just keep running those up. Like I said, you'll feel the tension as it goes up. Now what I'll do is I'll get one of those out, and I have gotten my Wilson uniform gauge here, for 40 Smith & Wesson. I have one for 45, one for 9mm. Basically, this makes sure you're to spec. So I'll take one of these out, and you just drop it down. And as you can see, it sets flush in that gauge. So that tells me that that round will chamber in any firearm that shoots 40 Smith & Wesson brass. So it falls right out, goes right in. This also is telling you about your head space, because we all know that semi-automatic's head space on the mouth of the case. Also let you know whether or not you've exceeded the maximum overall length. But that's all there is to it. It removes that bulge, and you won't have to worry about that chambering in any 40 Smith & Wesson firearm. Fits perfect. Take the rest of these down. Just check. I should have done a video before just to show if that bulge is there. Generally, that case will only go about that far down in the gauge. But with the bulge gone, it goes all the way in. This does have, and I don't know if you can see it in here or not, there is a ridge right there inside. This is, to me, is about the thinking of a chamber on a firearm, and that's the reason why that stops. Your case ends up hitting right on it. Also, you can take it and check like that to make sure that you haven't crimped too much. It goes in there perfect. So it removed any bulge. That's all there is to it. Goes in, comes out. Just that easy. So now I know I can load these in my Smith & Wesson, 40 Smith & Wesson, anything XD, whatever shoots 40 Smith & Wesson, they'll chamber. But that is the LEE Bulge Buster. Let me get the rest of those out. Take my little wooden rod, push those up. That's all of them. All those I just checked, there's no need in checking those. That unscrews. And as you can see, it's just a cylinder. But it removes the bulge. It goes right back down in a little storage cup. And then, like I said, here's the instructions that comes with it. You can buy this, but you have to have the factory crimp die, or it just doesn't work. The instructions show you how to do the brass. You can actually, if you've got a case feeder, you can put the tube down into the die and push your cases up in the tube, squeeze it, take it over to your press. I believe the Bulge Buster does, I think this one Bulge Buster can work for 380, 357 SIG, 40 Smith & Wesson, 10mm, 400 core bond, 45 gap, 45 ACP, 45 Win Mag, 41 Action Express. But for all those calibers, you have to have that crimp die, because this works with the crimp die. But that's it. So, the LEE Bulge Buster kit.